So your child is going to be asked to make first an estimate and then a tape diagram. So I'm going to show you what both of those look like. The tape diagram is for them to visually see how the two numbers look when combined. So for the first problem, I know that the school has this many more hits in January, and in February they had this many. So your child's going to have to find how many there were in both months, but I'm going to show how you would do just to find out the January. So the first thing that you'd want to do is you'd want to figure out with the tape diagram. The tape diagram is the number represented with each number. So I have this large number, 9,854, and then this number, 3,905. So the tape diagram is going to be representative of the number. So if 9,000 is this big, then 3,000 is about a third of that. So I would want to draw it about the third of a size. And I want to draw them together because when I'm doing addition, I'm combining two things. So I want to show the combination of the two lengths. So this part of the tape is going to represent the 9,854. This is going to represent the 3,905. And then together, they're going to represent, I'm going to call it W, because W is going to equal the website hits. So to figure this out, I'm going to use the traditional algorithm that the students and I have been working with the last few days. That's where we put the numbers vertically. We align the place values, so we're adding the numbers correctly. The ones are being combined, the tens, the hundreds, and the thousands. So what we worked on together is that when we are showing a number that's larger than 10, showing it like here, we have 8 and 9 hundredths, we'd do 17. So we'd start the 7 here, bringing the 1 over. So they see that it's still 17. The 1 is being exchanged for 1,000. And then the total here would be 13,000. So this is the example of the tape diagram here. We want to put each number on kind of a length of if we had kind of would pull out some tape to represent each number. And then the total combination is what we did here at the top. We always assign that a variable. And that can be any letter that your child determines or you determine to be. What I'm going to ask you to do down here is compare your estimate. So the students have been practicing estimation, so they should be able to round each number. So in this case, we would call 9,800 about 10,000, and we would call 3,905 about 4,000. So it would be reasonable for our answer to be around 14,000. So all your student is going to do here is going to say, are these two numbers close? Are they in the same ballpark? And if the answer is yes, then the answer is probably correct. If you get a number that's much higher or much lower than your estimate, it's likely that it's not. So here we're going to first have to figure out, this is a multi-step problem, so students first have to figure out how much the cow Betsy produced, and then how many all four did. So I'm going to show you how I would do the tape diagram for Betsy. So we know Betsy is 986 more than Buttercup. So to show Betsy's total, we're going to show Buttercup's of the 7,087 plus the 986 more that Betsy produced. Now this tape diagram we could even make a little bit smaller, because if you look at the values, 7,000 and then 986, it should actually be more like this. It's just a little bit more because we're already in the 7,000s comparatively. So for your students to find that, again, they want to make sure their place values align, and then they can find the total, and then again, remember we want to use that variable. We'll use B here for Betsy's total. And then once we solve, B will equal. We should always know if our answer is reasonable, though, so your student should always estimate. So I would estimate 7,087 to be about 7,000. I would estimate 986 to be about 1,000. So the total reasonable answer for your student should be around 8,000. The final step after they figure out Betsy's total would be to combine all four cows. I would suggest your child add two of them together, find the total, and then add those two totals together. That's probably the easiest way.